Today, we have a confession. A confession from a carnival of so-called expert who works for the Daily Mail on the unethical, corrupt relationship that exists between senior members of the royal family, Charles, William, Kate, and Camilla, and the British tabloid media. And my family, today, our focus is on carnival of so-called expert, Sarah Vine. For those who may not know of Sarah Vine, she's someone who works for the Daily Mail. And she has written some of the most abusive, racist, threatening articles targeting Harry and Meghan, especially Meghan. And my family today, she just made a confession. And my family, I want you to hear exactly what has been said with your own 2 ears, my family. Kindly please hear this.
I must admit, he's one of the best communicators.
Yeah, and he's a very nice man. He's genuinely quite a nice, compassionate man. You know, he does feel things quite deeply.
So, like, it's so mad to even be with someone who's met him. Like, do you know what I mean? You guys have met him.
Yeah, like, I've had dinner with him and bored him with my...
What?
Yeah.
So, what is he actually like? Like, he's
really nice. He's quite patient. He listens very politely.
Wow.
He's very well read, isn't he? He's very, quite interested in all sorts of things. Very intellectual, quite a deep thinker. He's quite a gentle soul, I think.
Yeah, and because he spent so long as the heir apparent, he got involved in other things like Prince's Trust, and he was very interested in medicine. So
my family, as you've heard, they are talking about King Charles. They're talking about Charles. Sarah Vine is talking about meeting King Charles, whereby she's confessing that she has dinner with Charles himself. And then someone on TV or even trolls online, the Rangers, my family, will come to you and say, Harry and Meghan betrayed their own family by doing Oprah, by doing Spare, by doing the Harry and Meghan documentary. They betrayed their own family. Look at what you are being told with your own 2 ears. The my family people who abuse Harry and Meghan are being invited to dinner by Charles himself, to have dinner with him. People who abuse Harry and Meghan are invited to be on the same plane as Charles and Camilla when they are doing their foreign royal tours. But somehow, that's okay. No one wants to talk about that at all. Nobody wants to have that conversation. I will have that conversation. Because nobody wants to have that conversation. You see, my family, a few weeks ago, we had another confession from a carnival of so-called experts who works for Rupert Murdoch. Her name is Kate Manzi, who writes columns for The Times, owned by Rupert Murdoch. She confessed that the reason why you are seeing Prince Harry being attacked so much for accepting the Pat Tillman Award is because those attacks come and have been ordered by the Windsors. Who are the Windsors? William and Charles. They are the only ones powerful enough to command UK media to go after Harry and Meghan. They're the ones with the power, with the authority, to sign off on a press assault against Harry and Meghan. They're the ones with the power. In my family, how many more people need to confess to all of us, to those who still don't believe that my family indeed, these attacks towards Harry and Meghan, it is being done with the full consent and approval of Charles and William. How many times do they need to confess? How many? How many? How many confessions do we need? Would you at home, would you have dinner with someone who insults your son? Would you have dinner with someone who racially abuses your daughter? Would you have dinner with someone who my family says the most disparaging things about your daughter? You know, someone who even in our columns for Daily Mail has spoken about my family, a miscarriage, about your daughter, your child having a miscarriage. Kaka, would you have dinner with someone like that? You may not, but Charles will. And Charles is having dinner with people like that. With people who make abusive, disparaging comments about his son and daughter. And my family, no one appears to be calling them out for it. But I am going to do that. I am going to do that. And my family, I love seeing them confessing. I love seeing them confessing. You know? And that's why I like to use their own words to form an opinion. I like using their own words, my family, as a confession to the part that senior members of the royal family are playing in this ongoing smear campaign against Harry and Meghan. I like seeing them confess. And I'm sure you also like the same thing. Because now, when someone comes to you and tells you, oh, Harry and Meghan did the Oprah interview, they betrayed the royal family. Look at Charles. Look at Charles. Look at him. Look at what he's doing. He's having dinner with people who abuse his daughter-in-law. He's having dinner with people who abuse his own son, who make disparaging comments about his son, Harry. And he doesn't seem to be bothered by it at all, because they abuse Harry with his approval. With his approval. Remember, the worst thing that can happen to a member of the royal rota, and they have confessed it themselves. Carnival, so-called expert Patrick Christie's said they are afraid of being cut off from the raw pool of stories, whereby they are fed information, whereby they are fed lies, whereby they are fed stories. Mostly stories about Harry and Meghan. And they are fed these stories by the royal family. If you deviate, if you say something that Charles and William do not like, you will be cut off. You will be cut off. But apparently, Charles is okay with the abusive, disparaging comments that Sarah Vine has made towards Prince Harry. And my family, to the people who still don't believe, why, still don't believe, or understand why Harry and Meghan needed to do the Oprah interview or Spare or the Harry and Meghan documentary, to those who still don't understand why. It's a simple question. Would you have dinner or invite anyone who's abused your son to come and have dinner with you? Would you? If you love and truly care about your son, you will not have dinner or lunch with anybody who abuses you and your son. You would not. You would not. And my family, I want to hear more and more confessions from more Carnival or so-called experts on their corrupt, unethical relationship that exists between them and senior members of the royal family. My family, make no mistake about one thing here. If it is up to the royal family, by now they would brief and leak information about Prince Harry to the British tabloid media, which is what Prince Harry has been telling us for a long time. He's been saying it for a long time. These briefs, these leaks come from senior members of the royal family. And even, let me read you a part in spare of what Harry said about senior members of the royal family being complicit in the abuse that he and Meghan were experiencing at the hands of the British tabloid media, mostly Meghan, because the order was for them to target Meghan, not really Prince Harry. You know, the order was for the UK media to target, you know, Meghan, my family. Let me read you this, please. You know, and I quote, November 2016, a very, very important day, vital cause, but my head was not in the game. I was worried about Meghan. She could not go home because her house was surrounded by paps. She could not go to her mother's house in LA because it too was surrounded by paps. Alone, adrift, she was on break from filming, and it was Thanksgiving time. So I had reached out to friends who had a house sitting empty in LA, and they had generously offered it to Meghan. Problem solved. For the moment, still, I was feeling worried and intensely hostile towards the press. And I was now surrounded by the press. You know? And I was now surrounded by the press. And where was Harry at this time? The occasion was the Wild Ace Day back in 2016, my family. And Prince Harry had asked Rihanna, an amazing artist, at the last minute to join him, help raise awareness across the Caribbean. You know? So Prince Harry was my family in Barbados. You know? Rihanna's hometown of Barbados. That my family became independent and cut off the monarchy. And now they have their own head of state, picked and chosen by the people of Barbados. So my family, Harry was on some kind of a tour to Barbados, my family. So my family, you know, when Harry was there, as you know, on tours, members of the Rorota have to accompany you, whether you like it or not. If you are in the royal family, if you are funded by the taxpayer, the Rorota must accompany you, whether you like it or not. So my family, even when he was there, in Barbados, still carnival of so-called experts who are writing abusive, insulting articles about Meghan, the woman he loves, my family, were there in Barbados around him, following him, you know, following Prince Harry. So my family, Harry then said this anecdote, that still I was feeling worried and intensely hostile towards the press. And I was now surrounded by the press. The same royal reporters, gazing at them all. I thought complicit. I thought complicit. My family, Prince Harry, you know, said, you know, Prince Harry, my family, said that. You know? And my family, even now that Harry and Meghan are not funded by the taxpayer, we have seen, and I have reported this in my family, that still you have seen UK media take themselves to places that Harry and Meghan have been invited to, uninvited. UK media have been taking themselves to places that Harry and Meghan have been invited to, uninvited, because no one has asked for Daily Mail to go to Colombia to follow Harry and Meghan. or to stalk Harry and Meghan. Nobody has called them there, but they brought themselves there. No one called for Daily Mail to go and follow Harry and Meghan in Nigeria, but they took themselves there. No one called for Daily Mail to go to Miami, where Harry was playing polo to raise money for Center Ballet charity, but Daily Mail took themselves there. And please remember what the message that they were told when they arrived, that only media outlets personally approved by Prince Harry were allowed to cover the event. And Daily Mail was mourning about it because Prince Harry dared reject them, dared deny them entrance at the venue to come and stalk him and Meghan when they were in Miami. Just like they've been complaining about being denied access to Prince Harry and Meghan when they were in Colombia. You know? So my family, it's like Daily Mail refuses to get the memo that Harry and Meghan want nothing to do with them. But yet, despite all that, they still want to take themselves to places that Harry and Meghan visit, to go and exploit Harry and Meghan, to make money off of them, time and time again. You know, yet Harry and Meghan want nothing to do with them. Nothing at all to do with Daily Mail or the other tabloids. But they still will not get the message. They still refuse to get the memo that they are unwanted by Harry and Meghan. You know? So my family, also, let me read you something even more, my friend, than that, actually. You know? That Prince Harry also told Charles and William. My family, Harry then wrote inspired this, and I quote, that Charles cited Grandpa as a sterling example of why the press wasn't anything to get too vexed about. Poor Grandpa had been abused by the papers for most of his life. But now look, he was a national treasure. Papers could not say enough good things about the man. That's it then. Just wait till we are dead and all will be sorted. Then Charles told Harry, if you could just endure it, darling boy, for a little while, in a funny way, they'd respect you for it. A father telling his son to endure the abuse from the UK media. I think it's even, UK media don't really abuse Prince Harry. They mostly target Meghan, not even Prince Harry. Mostly it's Meghan, not Harry. And a father here is asking for his son to endure the abuse. But still you hear from the UK media, oh, Prince Harry, it's so sad. Your kids are not being raised in the raw fold. You don't know what they're missing out on. What UK media don't say is that what they're missing out on is being abused constantly by the British tabloid media, because Archie and Lily Diana are mixed race. And already, British media have been racist towards them. Do you think that when Archie and Lilibet are going up, do you think for a second that UK media will be kind towards them, will treat them with respect, will not pit them against their cousins? Because they keep saying that it's so sad that Archie and Lilibet won't get to know their cousins. British media have a habit of pitting royal versus royal, Harry versus William, Meghan versus Kate. You want to tell me that they'll keep themselves from pitting Archie versus George and Lilibet versus Charlotte? Anyone who thinks that UK media will keep themselves from pitting Archie versus George or Lilibet versus Charlotte, William and Kate's kids, anyone who thinks that they can be able to control themselves from not attacking Archie, Lilibet, is unwell. Is unwell. UK media, who are known for being racist, cannot avoid it. They can't avoid it, my family. So it's on Harry and Meghan to protect their own kids. So that Prince Harry will not have this conversation with his son and tell his son, my son, Archie, if you could just endure it, my son, just for a little while, in a funny way, UK media, after abusing you, will respect you for it. Prince Harry should never have to have this conversation with his son. And anyone who believes that they care about Prince Harry, or even Meghan, or even Archie, or Lilibet, my family would never ever want this life for Harry and Meghan's kids. Because life in the rough world will mean that UK media will abuse them. UK media cannot help themselves. They cannot help themselves. They cannot help themselves. You know? And that's a fact. They cannot help themselves. You know? My family, let me continue, please. I hope, first of all, Harry never has to have this conversation with Archie and Lilibet, telling them, my children, please, just endure the abuse. In the end, UK media will respect you for it. I hope Prince Harry, as a father, never has to have this conversation with his son. And my family, when your someone wants to break that cycle of suffering, you'll always be met with pushback, as Harry has been met with so much pushback, my family. Even right now, UK media, one of the crimes that they accuse Harry of is of leaving. They're angry at him because he left. Because he picked Meghan up and Archie and fled the UK. They're angry with him because he left the UK. Yet, whenever Harry does come over to the UK, they still abuse him, while expecting him to stay longer. For what? For more abuse? For more insults? Like Charles expected, telling Prince Harry, Harry, if you could just endure it, my darling boy. In the end, they'll respect you for it. May Harry never have to have this kind of conversation with his son. And I believe he is never going to have this talk with his son for as long as Archie is not raised in the UK. He won't have to have this talk with Archie. But if Archie and Lilibet are raised in the UK, then my family, I can promise you, Harry will have to have this conversation with his kids. Because, my family, if there is something that UK media is very, very consistent with, is my family repeating history. As Harry has said, and my family, this is very clear. The business model of UK media depends or relies on members of the royal family being at odds with each other. That will never ever change. That will never ever change. UK media always try to emotionally blackmail Prince Harry. Charles tries it. William tries it, my family, by saying that, you know what? Oh, Charles would love to be in Archie and Lilibet's lives. Yet Charles has never ever lifted a finger to condemn the abuse and racism towards his grandkids. Not once. Not once has he done that. Instead, he's having dinner with people who abuse his son. My family, let me even read you a headline from the Daily Mail a while back. My family, back when Meghan was pregnant with her and Prince Harry's first child. And I quote, Sarah Vine's headline, my family, and I quote, oh baby, Meghan's got a lot to learn when it comes to the unexpected complications childbirth can bring. You know, I always say, UK media never expected for Meghan to give Prince Harry a child so soon, so quickly after they got married. You know why? Because they expected to bully her out of the royal family quickly. You know? Quickly. My family, UK media, like to mock Meghan for not staying in the royal family for too long, for leaving very, very quickly. But my family, if it was up to the UK media, Meghan would have left by herself without a husband. You know, my family, without a husband. You know, and my family, once again, these people don't care about Prince Harry. They care about how much clicks he gets them. They care about how much money he can make them. But they don't care about Prince Harry one bit. And my family, it is important to be very, very crystal clear on that. It's very, very important, my family. So Charles is having dinner with people who are writing columns talking about my family, pregnancy complications, childbirth complications in my family. These people never ever wanted Meghan to have her kids. And no wonder, whenever they speak about Prince Harry coming back to the UK, they always want him to come back alone. Yet Harry has his own kids. Yet Harry has a wife and children. He has Archie. He has Lilibet, who deserve to have their father in their lives. But do you think you can care? They don't care about that. They don't care about that at all. They don't care. They don't care one bit about Archie, about Lilibet. They care about my family destroying lives to make a fortune for themselves, for the drama part of my family. That's what they care about. You know? They want to see Prince Harry have a public breakdown, or Meghan have a public breakdown. That way, they can make so much money from selling papers. That's what they care about. You know? That's what they truly care about, my family. And my family, it is despicable what they are doing with family. You know? My family, Harry then said this, and I quote, "I laughed. All I'm saying is don't take it personally," Charles said. Speaking of taking this personally, I told them I might learn to endure the press and even forgive their abuse. I might. But my own family complicity, that was going to take longer to get over. Pa's office, Willie's office, enabling these friends of theirs, if not outright collaborating. Meg was apparently a bully. That was the latest fitness campaign they had helped orchestrate. It was so shocking, so egregious, that even after Meg and I demolished the lie, destroyed the lie with a 25-page evidence-filled report to Human Resources, I was going to have trouble simply shrugging that one off. Pa stepped back. Willie shook his head. They began talking over each other. "We've been down this road 100 times," they said. "You are delusional, Prince Harry." But they were the delusional ones. Even if, for the sake of argument, that I accepted that Pa and Willie and their staff had never done one overt thing against me or my wife, their silence was an undeniable fact. And that silence was damning and continuing and heart-trending. My family, said Prince Harry. And my family to Prince Harry, even right now, your father is having dinner with Sarah Vine, the woman who basically was writing articles talking about my family, pregnancy complications that Meghan could have. And these are the people who tomorrow will write columns about how sad Charles is that he can't have Archie in his life, that Archie isn't there, that Lilibet aren't there. My family, the ones who are sad, are Wikimedia because of the money they are missing out on. From a picture of Archie, from a picture of Lilibet Diana. That's why they're using their minions like Thomas Markle to try and find a way through the back door to gain access to my family, Prince Harry and Meghan, to their kids also. And my family, their actions are very sickening. My family, I want to hear your opinion on what you think about Charles having dinner with someone like Sarah Vine? I want to hear your opinion on that, my family. So my family, I hope that more and more people understand why Prince Harry had to do the Oprah interview, why Prince Harry had to do the Harry and Meghan documentary, why Prince Harry had to do Spare. My family, Harry and Meghan are facing powerful people, powerful forces, who are fighting back because they can't accept rejection, being rejected by Harry and Meghan, who feel like they own Prince Harry, who feel like Prince Harry, even Archie, Lilibet are their personal property, that only they have the right to exploit them, to make money off of them. And no wonder even UK media have been so angry about being denied access to Harry and Meghan wherever they go to. The thing is, my family, with Harry and Meghan, I've always said this: you can't abuse them and expect that my family roll out the red carpet to appease you or make you happy. UK media have been trying for the past 8 years, somehow hoping that if they abuse Harry and Meghan, that Harry and Meghan will invite them into their lives. It's never happened. It won't happen now. And they need to understand that. They need to understand that. What UK media must stop doing is that they must stop abusing Harry and Meghan, and they must leave Harry and Meghan alone. Let Harry and Meghan live in peace, and they should focus on the tax-funded royals that they have in the UK and leave Harry and Meghan alone. So my family, when the royal family leak and brief the UK media abusing Harry and Meghan have every right in the world to respond. Harry and Meghan have every right in the world to fight back. They have every right in the world to fight back. My family, I believe I've said enough. You tell me kindly your thoughts about what we have discussed on here, family. May God bless you all and stay tuned on this video. Love you all and forever. And may no weapon from against Harry, Meghan, Archie, and also Lilibet, Diana ever prosper. Hello, members of Zesco Family TV. First of all, I want to say thank you for all your support that you give us to our channel. We don't take it for granted that you support this channel. I want to say thank you from the bottom of our hearts for lending out your support and fighting against injustices, supporting Prince Harry and Meghan, showing them love. Love will always triumph over evil, and for that I say thank you. Good will always prevail over bad. Thank you so much for all your support. Thank you so much for joining this community, this amazing community of Zesco Family TV. I love you so much, family, from the bottom of my heart, and I wish you all the best. May you have a great day, and I hope that you enjoyed this video and learned a lot of things. With that and so much more, stay tuned to our next video. Leave a comment below, like and subscribe. Love you, family, always and forever. Sayonara.